Welcome to AFL NT's coverage of the 24-25 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League in Darwin. We're here at Nightcliff Oval on Larrakia country. This evening, the Nightcliff Tigers looking to hold on to second place on the ladder after the Tiwi Bombers won today. But PINT will be looking to make it difficult for the Tigers tonight. My name is Nick Danks. My commentary partner this evening is Stuart Davis. Stuart, good evening. Big one today for the Tigers.
It is a big one for the Tigers, and PINT come in 7th place. Realistically, they're not going to play finals this season, but important for them to finish strongly. There was a meeting with the coaches during the week, and all those coaches in the bottom half of the table said it's important to finish strongly, not only for confidence going into next season, but for recruiting, to get players to the club and that sort of thing. And you know, PINT are a club that have got a pretty talented list, so they can be competitive, and certainly in the past the Nightcliff PINT games have been close since PINT have come into the Premier League. And
the coaches must have been listening, because Darwin Buffs win today, so yeah. Full of Wills obviously took some notes. But we'll look at those ladders. This game's underway here at Nightcliff Oval.
It is, and first hit out won by Fitzgerald for Nightcliff as the ball goes forward, but there's a whistle on the play. It's going to be a PINT free kick going to Cameron Wilson in the middle of the ground for PINT, and PINT kicking to the left of screen or near side as in this first quarter, and Wilson with the first kick of the match kicks long down towards half forward, but beautifully read and intercepted by Sean Hunter, who's had a pretty good season for Nightcliff this year. He chips out wide and finds Brody Philo, who's having a look at the footy. He usually sees a fair bit of it, but just checking it out to start the game, and chips out wide and finds Tom Boyd in some space out on the wing. He's just happy to slow things down and then drive along the line on the outer side of the ground. Ball off hands over the back of the pack, picked up at ground level by Chalmers for PINT, and the kick back along the wing on the outer side is punched away and over the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
Yeah, the Tigers come into this game with 6 wins for their last 7. Their only loss in that time was against the ladder leaders Southern Districts in round 9 by 43 points. PINT's come in tonight with 2 wins and 2 losses from their last 4 games.
So from the boundary throw in, up high was McCarthy in front for PINT. The hand pass came outside to Fitzgerald, who tried to kick it off the outside of the boot, but didn't catch it properly, and it's floated over the boundary line on the full, so it'll be a PINT free kick just backward of the wing on the outer side of the ground.
Well, good thing the PINT is there is look at the good crowd that they've got in here. Their supporters, away supporters, done really well to come to some of these games, so it's good to see the PINT supporters out and about.
So PINT just happy to chip it around. Wilson with another kick here. Thought about going inboard. He's called to play on now and goes long down the line instead as the ball spills forward from that marking contest. At ground level, putting the pressure on was Lanyon for Nightcliff as they work it through the hands out the back, and the kick forward by Boyd goes out close to the boundary line again. PINT first there through Schmetzer, who got the hand pass over the top. Josh McCarthy picks up now and chips the ball inboard, and no mark taken. Nightcliff trying to bring it away. Parfitt in there just got bundled over. Philo cleverly picked up and hand passed in the one motion, and Boldy got it on the outside to Liam McCarthy, whose kick inside 50 just fell short of his intended target down there, and Nightcliff PINT the chance to break away, but that's a strong tackle from behind. Advantage taken by Parfitt, chips the ball inside forward 50, and the mark taken over the back by Boyd Bailey, and he'll go back and should take a set shot with the chance for the first score of the match.
Unlucky not to get a 50 then, because he'd taken that mark clearly, and then the PINT player ran into him front on. The umpire's given him the benefit of the doubt that he was in the marking contest, but did look a little bit late for me. But as he lines this one up,
Boyd Bailey for Nightcliff. rangy left footer, kicks long towards goal. Goal umpire does not move from the centre of the goal. So first score on the board is a goal to Nightcliff through Boyd Bailey, and it was a good build-up and pretty smart play from Brandon Parfitt just to pounce on that loose ball after the free kick was played and take the advantage and get it over the top to Bailey.
Last time these two sides met was in round 7. The Tigers held off a really strong fight back in the end by PINT to hold on by 9 points. So a big start here for the Tigers at home.
So back in the middle of the ground, it's Fitzgerald up against McCarthy. McCarthy wins this hit out, thumps it straight down, but Parfitt at ground level got it by hand to Philo. Philo sweeps the hand pass on the outside. And once again, Baldy up to Liam McCarthy, who switches it back across the ground, but that's not a well-directed kick and gives PINT the chance to go forward again as the chip kick inboard just falls in between players there, as swooping in was Alex McCarthy, but couldn't control the ball. It now spills back to him as the kick was smothered, and receives on a 1-2 hand pass, kicks inside forward 50. There's a whistle on the play here. It's going to be a PINT free kick, and it's going to go the way of Benjamin Brett, who has had a few years at PINT now and is an important forward for them, and he'll go back and take the set shot. Just a bit of interference in the marking contest then, and so Brett, left foot kick on the way towards goal, but he's just pushed that one out to the left and behind only as Ryan Nyhouse looks to bring the ball back into play. Goes with the short option and finds Liam McCarthy. McCarthy has a short on the outside, ignores that and goes a little bit further afield. That's a well-weighted and well-delivered pass, finding Lockie Tardrew round the wing. Tardrew's kick just falls short of Fitzgerald there, and coming in for PINT was shot, but took possession of the ball, got tackled to the ground, and this will be a ball up. Umpire Josh Cooper comes in. And McCarthy and Fitzgerald again. Fitzgerald just pushes McCarthy under the ball and then gets the hand pass over the top. Politis now kicks long down towards half forward. Well, no mark taken as Nightcliff first hands to the ball at ground level, but again, it's difficult to break away from the close-in tacklers, and it'll be a ball up again. Cody Nyhouse doing the ruck work this time. McCarthy tries to reach over the top, but again, it's just caught in as the teams try to just sort themselves out with a bit of physicality early in the game, getting around the ball. McCarthy just tries to thump that one forward, got a fist to it, but picked up at ground level. Hand pass comes back to Parfitt. He gets it out the back to Philo. Philo swings around, kicks long inside forward 50, coming out. The intercept mark is nicely taken by Schmetzer in the back half for PINT, and he'll just settle things and go long around the outer side of the ground once again, but well read, and a nice intercept mark taken by Boyd. He's had a few touches early in this game. Tardrew gets the hand pass out to Politis, who ducks back inboard now, kicks the ball into space inside forward 50, pretty cleverly taken by hand to foot out there, as now there's a high tackle paid and play on as Joel Budrick takes advantage and kicks inside forward 50. It's punched away from behind as Nyhouse gets a kick to the ball. It's smothered forward. Nicely done at ground level by Dirksen for Nightcliff, and his kick just didn't come back far enough and through for a behind.
Just a little bit of pace on themselves at the moment, the Tigers do. PINT is struggling, trying to keep up with them, but it's only early in the game. Of course, 1-1-7 to 1 behind, but the Tigers look to be pretty much in control.
Gee, that wasn't the best of kick-ins, and put themselves under pressure straight away as Baldy got it back to Paris Chong. The ball slips out again as Paris John gets a hand pass over the top, and now a snapshot for goal from out wide. It goes across the face, and PINT desperate at ground level, but the ball's caught in underneath, and this will be a stoppage again. The PINT player's calling for a push, but no free kick being paid there, and it's a ball up close to the boundary line in the left forward pocket for Nightcliff, as Schmetzer gets the hand pass back, and PINT get a clearing kick out towards defensive 50. Flying with the flight of the ball was Fulton, just got a fist to it. It slips out here to Alex McCarthy now for PINT, but it's Nightcliff with the numbers who thump it straight back inside 50, but PINT have got the numbers there, but it's a free kick at the front of the pack, and it's going Nightcliff's way, and it's going to go to Zach Dirksen, who will kick from directly in front, only about 20 metres out.
Yeah, Dirksen just got a clip on the nose as he went past there. The umpire pinged that one straight away. Just going to push him out a little bit further.
Zach Dirksen been a really important player for Nightcliff this year. Gives them strength and ball winning ability inside forward 50. Kick on the way, straight as a die, and another goal on the board to Nightcliff, this time through Zach Dirksen, who of course is a local product, but has been playing footy in the Queensland League in recent times.
A couple of other games already played today. Darwin Buffaloes had their first win of the season, defeating Wanderers by 27 points, and the Tiwi Bombers defeated Waratah by 13 points. The Bombers up to second place on the ladder now. If the Tigers will be looking to try and, as I said, win tonight to get that place back. And on now another game at TIO St Mary's taking on Palmerston. But we're here at Nightcliff Oval, 2-1-13, the Tigers to 1 behind PINT.
So back in the middle, Fitzgerald, Josh McCarthy. Fitzgerald up early. Play on's the call as the ball comes to the ground. The hand pass comes back out the back to Politis, who kicks, just thumps it long inside forward 50 at ground level. It's just hacked off the ground, and PINT get it out of their defensive 50. Oh, some clever work almost there, but just couldn't finish it off as Parfitt on the outside chips back inboard. It's punched away, and bit of volleyball going on in there as the hand pass comes over the top. Baldy does well, got it to Tardru. Tardru just weaved his way through some traffic and then delivered on the outside, and found Daniel Quinn. Quinn's kick inside forward 50 to Dirksen, who got caught with the ball and got tackled over the boundary line. So it's a boundary throw in, inside forward 50 in the right forward pocket for Nightcliff.
Say Dirksen lost that in the lights, but he just couldn't get a clear grip of that one as it came across, and luckily he bounced out of bounds, else he was going to be pinged there.
Josh McCarthy thumps it forward. Philo runs onto it, but ran out of space, and it'll be another boundary throw in adjacent to the scoreboard. Just the 2 goals scored in the game so far. We tick past 12 minutes in this first quarter. It's been pretty tight in close, as from that hit out, the Nightcliff trying to work it through quick hands. It comes back on the outside. Philo breaks his way through. He's dragging a player along, as hanging onto his jumper. The quick kick forward, well spoilt by Josh McCarthy. Just got a fist to it and allowed PINT to clear around the outer side. But as Henry Thompson came in trying to take the mark, the ball just got punched away from behind by Boyd once again and over the boundary line, and another throw in. Fitzgerald in front, took it out of the ruck contest, got the hand pass over the top, but the second hand pass missed the target again as PINT clear it away, but only as far as Ryan Nyhouse, who gets the hand pass out the back to Boyd. Boyd thumps it long back inside forward 50, but this one's falls short and is chopped off by Chalmers in defence for PINT. They're off and running now as the ball comes up towards half forward, but again, well organised in defence. Nightcliff and Tom Boyd just plucks that one out of the air and switches across to space on the outer side of the ground where Ben Vile takes a mark, went to play on, but really didn't have much to go to, so he stopped in his tracks and comes back across the face of goal to Lanyon. Lanyon looking to switch further to the side of the ground where Boldy's made some space. And he switches back across again into the centre corridor, and strong mark taken by Parfitt, who gives it by hand to Boldy, who ran past. And now this is a promising build-up from Nightcliff as the hand pass comes over the top, comes back into the hands of Tardru. Tardru chips it out wide and finds his teammate Liam McCarthy out on the half-forward flank on the outer side of the ground.
That was a long way to get to there, wasn't it? He went round the ground nearly, and he's got himself an opportunity, though. He thinks he can make this distance. He's stepped back, but it took a long way to get to McCarthy.
So Liam McCarthy, the long left foot kick in towards goal. Goal umpire makes a little bit of ground, and he's just missed that one to the left-hand side. So behind to Nightcliff as PINT bring it in quickly, goes straight up the ground to the captain, Thomas Shot. Shot really hasn't got much to go to, ends up turning around 360 degrees and eventually finds something short, and PINT take it away now long round the outer side of the ground, just get it over the top of the pack there, but Nightcliff first hands to the ball as the hand pass comes across, but hacked off the ground and well read by Boyd off of half-back once again. He swings around on the right boot, delivers into the corridor and finds his teammate Lorna. Lorna's off and running now, gets the hand pass over the top to Twycross, who gave it back to Lorna, who's still running forward of the centre wing. Kicks long inside forward, 50 high in the marking contest. The ball slips to the ground. Dirksen comes in, picks it up nicely. He gets tackled and gets the hand pass out. Quick hand pass forward from Quinn. Didn't hit a target, and now Politis in there picks it up, swings around and kicks long towards goal. It lobs in the goal square, but PINT first hands on the ball. They're happy to flick it around in the danger area down there, and eventually it's carried over the line by Schwarzenberg, and ball brought quickly back into play, and the mark taken by Wilson. Wilson looking to move the ball up the corridor. That's a well-directed kick, and Jamie Fulton, who'd made some space, takes that mark. Just gets a bit too much height on that, allows Ryan Nyhouse to come in and intercept, and he'll chip it away down the near side wing and finds Blake Lorna. Lorna delivers inboard, but it's punched away from behind. Sweeping hand pass comes back to McCarthy again for Nightcliff. He goes wide to the outer side of the ground, and it's going to be PINT at ground level first there, but Tyler Big just not able to control the ball, and it dribbles over the boundary line for a throw-in.
The Tigers just head up the numbers all the time on the ball at the moment, don't they, Stu? They're just breaking away in droves, and they just PINT just seem to be struggling every time they get the ball. The classic example was the captain there from the kick out, just 360, just trying to work out where to send it.
So from the throw-in, falls to Quinn, who got the hand pass backwards. The kick comes inboard, a mark spilt across half back, but no real damage done as it's cleared away. But again, Nightcliff with numbers around the ball and pretty well organised. They don't all close in on the ball. They set themselves up around the ball, and this time they've won the free kick, and Ben Vile will take it for Nightcliff. He chips inboard to Paris Chong, who switches again across into the middle of the ground where Ryan Nyhouse made some space up from deep in defence, and just finding a loose player everywhere they want as they go forward. Liam McCarthy this time got out wide and takes the mark. Calling for players to lead to the pocket. He kicks the ball long in that direction. Again, PINT first hands to the ball but couldn't take the mark, and that puts them under pressure at ground level as they scramble to get it out of defence, and eventually they do, but that's going to go dribble over the boundary line. Be interested in the umpire's call here, and it will be a Nightcliff free kick, and it's McCarthy again. He switches straight across the ground into the middle, but that's a poorly directed kick and gave PINT every chance, but just McKimmie couldn't get a toe poke to the ball, and the Nightcliff defenders closed in and worked it out methodically out to Baldy, who delivers a long half forward, and Cody Nyhouse out there kicks long into full forward, off hands, the ball gets out the back. McCarthy in there just got tackled to the ground, the ball spilled out, and it's going to be penalised here. It's going to be a pint free kick to Joey Thompson, deep in that back pocket. Thompson kicks long, close to the boundary line on the outer side, running onto it, and out there was Henry Thompson, but couldn't keep it in play, and a boundary throw in on the outer side. So 19 minutes gone, first quarter, just those couple of goals to Nightcliff, and really they've controlled the game pretty much. Pint just haven't got many answers going forward. There's a hit out from out the back. Cody Nyhouse gets the hand pass up again, and now running onto it, Lawler kicks long towards goal, but just missed on the near side.
As the rain falls here at Nightcliff Oval, it's been threatening to come in the women's pre-game before this one, but it's definitely here now.
Joey Thompson switches back across the face, and now off and running again. The long kick from Reeves down to the wing, but again Nightcliff with numbers and discipline just work it out, and Liam McCarthy, for about his 10th kick for the quarter, I would think, just chips it out wide, finding Budrick. Budrick goes out wide again, and Baldy, who's had plenty of the ball, gets another possession, just chipping it around now going forward. And this time it's Fitzgerald who takes the mark out wide. Comes inboard now and kicks long, close to the boundary line, but it's drifted out over on the full before Parfitt could get a hand to it. So some relief there for Pint as they look to build from the back half here. So down the line again, close to the boundary line. In fact, that one's gone out of bounds on the full as well. So just too close to the boundary as Riley Baldy chips the ball inboard and finds Lorna. Called to play on as he decides to go long, close to the boundary line on the outer side of the ground. But intercept mark taken out there by Josh McCarthy for Pint. He just wants to settle things down, and just a bit of kick to kick at the moment along that line on the outer side of the ground, and Blake Lorna takes another mark, but there's a whistle here. It might be a Pint free kick in that contest, as it is in fact, and goes back, and here's a chance for Pint through Henry Thompson, who kicks long towards half forward, but again it's all Nightcliff before it slips over the back. Here's a chance, a kick off the ground, but that's missed everything. So just an opportunist action there, but no score unfortunately from that forward movement from Pint, and Nightcliff really have controlled the game, although they haven't blown it out so far, Nick.
Absolutely. Quarter time, a 15-point lead to Tigers here, and we'll be back with you shortly for the second quarter.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to AFL NT's coverage of the 24-25 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League. We're here at Nightcliff Oval. My name is Nick Danks. My commentary partner this evening, Stuart Davis. Tigers looked pretty good then, Stu, in that quarter, but didn't really blow PINT away, and they did have the opportunity to do that. Yeah, that's right. PINT defending pretty stoutly, although some of the entries from Nightcliff were hitting the PINT players and they couldn't take the marks in defence, and that was putting themselves under more pressure. And then when PINT went to go forward, they almost seemed clueless going forward, had no options to go to, and Nightcliff really well organised in defence, as they always are, just able to tidy up and just thump it back up forward again. So be interesting to see what influence the coaches have had at quarter time to change things up, as Parfitt for Nightcliff wins the first clearance and goes straight down the ground. It's off hands, the ball slips over the back. At ground level, Bailey just lost his footing there and allowed the PINT players to come in over the top. They're wrestling for the ball at ground level, just unable to get it out, and it'll be a ball up at between half forward and full forward for Nightcliff. Players just sort themselves out. You can see the players around the pack. There's a heap there as Josh McCarthy got a hand to the ball and then at ground level just tried to get it out. There's a whistle on the play. It's going to be a free kick to Nightcliff, and it's going to go the way of Lockie Tardrew, who will have an early set shot for goal from directly in front, well inside the forward 50. He threw his arms up straight in the air then in front of the umpire, and the umpire must have seen it as well. I didn't actually see it, but he certainly was remonstrating as soon as he got a knock. Tardrew directly in front, kicks towards goal, and his teammates like it. It's through for the first goal of the second quarter, and it's Nightcliff again who draw first blood in this second quarter, and PINT just the one behind on the board early in this second quarter, and Nightcliff stretched that lead out again. Don't forget, all kids aged 14 years and under have free entry to the TIO NTFL games during round 15. You must be accompanied by an adult, of course, but a good idea by the NTFL to get the kids along during the school holidays. In other games today, Darwin Buffaloes had their first win of the season, defeating Wanderers by 27 points. The Bombers defeated Waratah by 13, and the other game on the moment, St Mary's and Palmerston. St Mary's pretty well handy at the moment in that one as well. But we're here at Nightcliff Oval. We are, and it's Nightcliff who are pretty impressive so far and in a good position, but PINT, the chance to go forward now as the long kick from Schwarzenberg goes high towards half forward. A double fist away in defence, and Boldy swoops on that one, gets a hand pass inboard, put his teammate Philo under a bit of pressure, but he drew himself a free kick with a high tackle, and he'll settle things down at half back as he looks to swing the ball along this near side wing. There's a one-on-one contest, but good body work in front by Blake Lorna, and he just had his opponent Pendle climbing all over his back, so wins a free kick and chips inboard to Cody Nyhouse just outside forward 50. He looks to deliver back inside to the corridor. It's off hands, just running into the open goal, and dribbling it through is Boyd Bailey for Nightcliff, and that was easy as you like as it came off hands. There was no one else near him, and Bailey just in the right spot at the right time, and kept his composure and dribbled it along the ground for his second goal. 4-4-28 to a single point, 3 minutes into the second quarter, and the Tigers looked a little bit better than a bit more direct. They have been going across and around the ground today, so it's they've got a couple of awards by going directly down the middle this quarter already. So I think that they must have had a chat about that at half time, because certainly in that quarter time, because certainly in that first quarter, they were taking 5 or 6 kicks just to go forward one step. Yeah, that's right. It's all very well to try and chip it to get it to a player in some space, but they were going backwards and across the ground and back again a number of times. So a bit more direct this time as Tardrew swoops on that loose ball coming out of centre, and now the chance for Nightcliff to go forward, but again they've switched across the ground, and that's not well directed and well read and marked by Jorgensen for PINT. He chips the ball inboard and finds shot goes long, but again it's kicking to a contest. It comes off hands this time. It's worked for them as Wilson swooped on that one, kicked forward, but again Nightcliff set up behind the ball, and no one better at that than Tom Boyd, who's had plenty of
touches, plenty of intercept disposals across half-back already in this game. And he kicks inboard to Twycross, who's found Philo back in the middle of the ground. Philo looking to switch to the near side wing. It bounces to Baldy out here, who gets it by hand on the outside to McCarthy. McCarthy with the long left foot, but too long and too wide, and out of bounds on the full inside forward 50 there. So it's a PINT free kick from the back half. So another wasteful forward entry there, and Pendle to take the free kick. The ball's got to come back because he's got to get back round over his mark. So Richard Pendle for PINT. Doesn't have too many options, so it goes to the kicks long and high to the pack of players. Off hands, it's punched forward, and Baldy in there at the bottom of the pack trying to work it out. The ball slips out, the tackle laid by Lanyon, and he'll get rewarded for that tackle as he chips inboard to Philo in some space in the centre square. Philo drives it long inside forward 50 off hands. Kennedy pounced on that, but just fumbled at the first instance. Then got the hand pass up to Parfitt. Parfitt on the left boot just floats one high into the middle there as again no mark taken, and ball slips out. Well smothered and hacked out of defence, but not for long as Nightcliff was set up behind the ball. The hand pass comes into Philo, who drills a pass inside forward 50. Tardru couldn't hold on to that one. Desperate defence from PINT as they try to work it out, or through the hands it goes straight to Parfitt, who hooks one over the top. Cody Nyhouse came in but couldn't get his hands on the ball, and it came out to Wilson once again, who kicked on the outside. Hunter under some pressure gets it back to Vile. Vile just gets it out to a spare behind, and the long kick comes in again. Kennedy had a high leap at the ball, couldn't get his hands on it as PINT tidy up through Ethan Smith with the short pass, and now they'll just settle things down across half back and try to work it up the ground as eventually they go with the long into the middle of the ground. But again, Nightcliff have got the numbers, and the hand pass comes out wide to Lorna, whose kick is good and finds Twycross. Twycross swings around on the right boot, kicks inside forward 50 off hands. The punch comes away from behind. I think that might be a mark on the second grab to Dirksen. He wasn't sure, but the mark was paid, and he'll go back and take the set shot from directly in front, about 35 metres out.
Already scored one tonight, lining up for his second goal. Just wave after wave of attack there from the Tigers. PINT were definitely going to break down eventually, and did pretty well to hold on for 4 or 5 minutes, but in the end Dirks is going to line this one up.
Zach Dirksen, set shot directly in front. Kick on its way, but he's just pulled that one to the left. So behind only as Reeves brings the ball in quickly for PINT. Oh, that should be a free kick for contact in the marking contest with no eyes on the ball, and it will be a free kick to Tyler Big for PINT. He goes high to the outer side of the ground again. Pretty easy to defend those ones, given a bit of air, but the ball spills to Wilson, who kicks in short, and now the chance for PINT to build through Alex McCarthy. Off hands, the ball slips into the corridor, and nicely swooping on that was Schwarzenberg, but there's a whistle on the play, and it's going to be a Nightcliff free kick for holding. Going to Parfitt. Parfitt wastes no time, chipping to the outer side of the ground, and Nightcliff the chance to build again through Hunter to Philo. Philo received the hand pass and then swings around on the left, kicks high inside forward 50, punched away defensively by Joey Thompson for PINT over the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw in at half forward for Nightcliff.
Just when PINT looked like they're going to have the opportunity there, that's just been snuffed out again. 1 point only so far, coming up to the 9-minute mark of the second quarter.
From the throw in, Parfitt at ground level, quick hands, found Tardru, who swung one way then the other, kicks long on the right boot inside forward 50, Players a bit confused at the fall of the ball. No one got their hands to it, and it's a strong tackle again, only about 10 metres out from the Nightcliff goal, and it'll be a ball up. So PINT under pressure again here in their defensive half. As from the ball up, PINT had all the players behind the ball. Has picked up a snapshot to goal, but just off target, and another behind for Nightcliff.
29-point lead.
Reeves to bring the ball back in again for PINT. You can just see that they've got very few options to go to. Nightcliff defensively very good, just tight on everyone up the ground. As offhands the ball spills to Vile, who gets the hand pass backwards. Comes to Tardru, who loops one over the top to Parfitt. Parfitt hand passes inboard looking for Politis, who did pretty well to take it and give, and they've worked it through the hands. Lorna hand passes long, but that's not a well-directed hand pass, as Josh McCarthy came in. Got a quick kick as he was tackled. It dribbles out towards the boundary line. I think it's been kept in play by Schwarzenberg, who kicks on the outside of the boot, but straight down the throat of Liam McCarthy, who chips inboard, and he finds Budrick. Budrick switches again, and this is a better build-up as Vile kicks high inside forward 50, and Paris Chong takes the mark for Nightcliff. His kick in the corridor. There's a push out in the contest there, going against Maloney, and it'll go the way of Dirksen, and he's throwing the ball back to Dirksen. He's hit the ground on the way, and so he's penalised 50 metres, so this will be a kick from the goal line, and that's something that PINT really didn't need.
This will be Dirksen's second.
No problem at all, just chips it over the goal umpire's hat, and a third goal for the quarter for Nightcliff as Dirksen hits the scoreboard again, and just PINT have got no answers at the moment, Nick.
No, absolutely not, and that's probably value for money what they've deserved tonight so far. The Tigers sentenced to lead by this far for a little bit of time there. The 15-point lead at quarter time, I didn't think they were value for what they played, but they certainly have done it now, and a 35-point lead 12 minutes into the second quarter, and I just don't see where PINT's going to get anything from at the moment. They just go, when they go forward, they've had a couple of opportunities, but they're just scrappy, and they've done something silly like throwing the ball back there, and just look a bit lost at the moment, PINT do.
So back in the middle of the ground as Schmetzer doing the ruck work, got his hand to the ball for PINT. Nicely picked up on the half volley by Wilson, but to his hand pass backwards, misses the target, and cleverly toe poked forward by Parfitt as the tackle comes in on Bailey, and no free kick paid. It'll be a ball up at half forward for Nightcliff. So Boyd Bailey in the middle of that pack again, just copped one high, and he'll go back and take the free kick.
You don't really want big blowout games, but percentage could be a big difference for the Tigers at the moment with two Bombers, the way they're going. They've been equal on points with the Tigers winning tonight, so percentage will make a big difference between second and third place.
So Bailey high, deep inside forward 50, off hands, ball's taken, and another ball up. Umpire Cooper throws the ball up as Dirksen over the top. Got his fist to the ball, it's spilled out in the tackle, and hack kick out of defence from PINT, gets it inside the centre square. Good hands, and now off and running is McKimmie for PINT. He delivers, and this is a better pass forward as Brett takes the mark. He chips over the top. McKimmie kept running, couldn't hold the mark, but now gets the hand pass forward as he's tackled to the ground, but it's all Nightcliff back there as Lanyon swoops in to tidy up with the hand pass over the top. The kick comes away close to the boundary line on the outer side. Cody Nyhouse picks up the ball, and he gets tackled to the ground. The ball spills out, and it'll be a PINT free kick going to Brett, who chips inboard as Nightcliff again just are able to intercept and bring it back through Politis out here to Green. Fergus Green on the left, swings around on the left, the ball gets over the top. There's Dirksen running into the open goal, but he's given away the free kick, and I'd imagine that should be a 50-metre penalty as well as he continued on with the play. It's not going to be that way as the free kick's taken by Maloney, who chips to Reeves in the back pocket. Reeves, a well-directed pass, finds Big at half-back. Oh, his kick just falls short, picked up on the half volley though by Wilson, who swept the hand pass over the top, and now a chance for PINT going forward as Chalmers kicks out wide. It's on the bounce but out in front, and swinging around, Alex McCarthy delivers nicely inboard, finding Jorgensen in towards centre half forward, but punched away from behind, and Nightcliff first hands on the ball through Tardru, Politis, and out wide they chip it forward as Hunter, running with the flight of the ball, couldn't take the mark under pressure, gets a hand pass forward that was affected by the tackle, but again Wilson's hand pass was misdirected, punched away, picked up by Philo, who kicks high inside forward 50. That's punched away from behind, and it's loose on the ground close to the Nightcliff goal, as trying to keep it in play was Jacob Maloney, but unable to do so. So it's a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Nightcliff.
Lorden did well there for the Tigers, just to keep that locked into that pocket as well. But they keep dropping down to that centre half forward position, the PINT do. They just can't get it across there. And Tigers got full control in the back line at the moment.
Free kick in the ruck contest, and taking advantage is Schwarzenberg for PINT. He kicks around the outer wing, but again strong in defence. Tom Boyd just punched it away and over the boundary line. The ball's coming back though. It's going to be a free kick to Boyd, who was being held in that contest. Boyd kicks long inside Nightcliff's forward half, hand pass over the top, falls to Politis. Politis running in towards goal, kicks, but he's sprayed that one across to the left and misses everything, and so some relief for PINT in the back pocket here as it's picked up by Brad Ryan.
And like Politis said, he had a couple to pass to as well. He's just took that snap from there, and you'd like that ball back again, you would think.
Ryan's kick goes long around the boundary line, punched away from behind, but again a solid tackle. The ball's wrapped up and it'll be a ball up about 70 metres out from the Nightcliff goal. As coming in late, the punch forward from Schmetzer, picked up at ground level, but ruthless tackling, and again it's Lanyon who's the tackler, and pulling up a bit sore there was Cameron Wilson for PINT. So the hit out hooked over the top, playing for a free kick, not paid, and the ball slips out. Tardru swoops on that, hand passes on the up to Philo, gets it out the back, and now the kick inboard, but PINT with some numbers here, but that's a hand pass to someone who's flat-footed and back to their goals. And kick would have been a better option, you would think, as Nightcliff chop it off again and bring it in, but this time it's well read and marked by Chalmers, who wastes no time getting it forward out in some space. The ball's knocked away from behind. The hand pass comes back to Brett, but had it knocked out of his hands. He lays a tackle on Baldy, who didn't have the ball, and gives him a little bit of attention, which Baldy reacts a little bit to, but he'll just go back and take the free kick now for Nightcliff. So just another episode of ill discipline there from PINT, as they've turned this one over and they work it through the hands. It comes back to Pendle. Pendle kicks towards half forward, but Philo's there for Nightcliff. It gets the hand pass up at ground level to Hunter, and they just run it out of defence now. Comes to Bailey, who hand passes forward, but Cody Nyhouse couldn't handle it, and then got a kick off the ground. It scrubs out into some space at half forward. Parfitt puts the pressure on the PINT defence, and then that's a free kick for in the back to Parfitt, you would think. Pretty experienced player, Brandon Parfitt, and wins himself a free kick at half forward. He swings around on the left, kicks long to the goal square, and it's Dirksen once again who stands tall in that forward half for Nightcliff, and a good contested mark up against Brad Ryan there, and he's got a Again, a pretty simple set shot from directly in front, just from the top of the goal square.
This will be his third for the game. And the way the Tigers are playing at the moment, he'll get a few more opportunities tonight, you would think, as well.
So directly in front, no problem whatsoever for Dirksen as he just pokes that one through again. I think the PINT defenders are suggesting that's a point. There's a conference between. No, all clear's given in the end, so don't know why the boundary umpire would need to get involved in that one.
It looked pretty straightforward. 15 minutes out directly in front. There wasn't far it could go if it was, unless he thought it might have just clipped the post or something. But it's gone through, and Dirksen's got his third goal and 41-point lead now. And with a couple of minutes to go, you would think of this quarter.
Yeah, that's right. 4 goals in the quarter to Nightcliff after 2 in the first quarter, as we've entered time on in this second quarter, and yeah, PINT have got some work to do in the half-time break to just try to make themselves competitive on the scoreboard. They're scrapping hard at ground level, but just getting no fluency in their ball movement whatsoever, and giving themselves no chances to score, as the kick forward from Nightcliff bounces out wide close to the boundary line. First there for PINT was Chalmers, got the hand pass inboard, but Boldy got his hands to the ball, and it's ricocheted over the boundary line for another throw in. So between wing and half forward for Nightcliff as the ball comes back into play. The scramble forward at ground level, picked up, and a quick kick from Fulton. Didn't cover much distance. Josh McCarthy's done pretty well there to take that ball and kick it forward. Getting his hands to it was Jones, but couldn't complete the mark, and tidy up again by Boyd out the back. Gets it to Ryan Nyhouse, who delivers to Fitzgerald around the outer side of the ground. Fitzgerald looking at options forward, just waiting for something to open up for him, and eventually bombs it long towards centre half forward. In front for PINT was Fulton, couldn't take the mark, and again the ball's caught in underneath at ground level, and yet another ball up just adjacent to the centre square. Josh McCarthy got a hand to the ball at ground level. Wilson working hard, wins another kick and gets it forward. Josh McCarthy followed up, got the hand pass out wide to Schwarzenberg, and he delivers nicely to Henry Thompson, and this is a more promising build-up from PINT as the kick goes inside and McKimmie takes the mark, and this would be, if my memory serves me correctly, Nick, this would be their first set shot opportunity in the game.
Yep, but it's right on the siren of the second quarter. So it's half time here, so he can't run around, so he's got to take this directly on, so it's made it even difficult for him.
Harry McKimmie is a left footer, so that's the preferred side of the ground as the kick goes, but he's just cut that one fine inside, and well, they scored for the quarter at least, Nick, but just one behind in each of the first 2 quarters, and they're a long way back at half time.
Absolutely. We'll go in for this break with the Tigers up by 40 points. Back with you shortly.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to AFL Entry's coverage of the 24-25 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League in Darwin here at Nightcliff Oval. I'm Nick Danks, my commentary partner this evening, Stuart Davis. Tigers in complete control of the moment, Stu, and really, it's like a big brick wall up there at that defensive line for PINT. Just can't break through.
Yeah, that's right. The one clean entry they had was right on the siren at half-time where they got that set shot for goal, but yeah, they just haven't been able to find a target going forward, and as we said, Nightcliff are very well organised in defence, as they always are, and just get numbers back and numbers to where the ball is, and PINT just really they're just trying to force the ball forward and getting chopped off every time.
Yeah, after tonight, the Nightcliff Tigers have got 4 games remaining in their regular season. Of course, they had the bye straight after Christmas. Next week, they take on Ladderley to Southern Districts. That'll be a beauty after Southern Districts had a bye this week. Then Waratah, Darwin Buffaloes, and then their regular season with Palmerston. So, surprisingly, Tigers play 2 top 5 sides, and then we'll meet the bottom 2 sides before the finals. I don't know whether that's a good lead-in or not, but I suppose it gives a bit of rest. PINT have only got 3 games remaining in their season. They get the bye next week. Then they've got St Mary's, Tiwi Bombers, and their season will end against Wanderers. So they'll play 2 more sides in the top 5 on the run home, and their season will end against Wanderers. So, of course, the 5's pretty much set down with a couple of results that have come through today already, which is the Darwin Buffaloes getting their first win, beating Wanderers by 27 points, and the Tiwi Bombers pretty impressive, defeating Waratah by 13 points. We were talking off air, Stu, a couple of weeks ago at Fred's Pass. Waratah were leading with about 5 or 10 minutes to go, and then since then they've just stopped.
Yeah, that's right, and it really puts them under pressure now, doesn't it? They looked like a real threat for the top 3, and now they find themselves all the way back in 5th place, and they don't look in danger of missing the finals, but you know, certainly that double chance for finishing 2nd or 3rd seems to be almost out of their grasp now. Yeah, I mean,
I did some maths during that game against Southern Districts at 3/4 time, saying that if they win that game against Southern Districts, and with the Districts having the bye, if they pinch through one that they haven't won today, all of a sudden that they were half a game away from getting into top spot, because of course 32 points they lost this season up until then was the game that got abandoned against Buffaloes. So they have just free fall, but they've got 3 or 4 weeks to get themselves back on top, Waratah, but it's going to be a very interesting final series for a very talented side.
Well, they obviously are talented, and you talk about that game out at Fred's Pass last week where they were in control of the game pretty much for a lot of it, had a handy lead inside the last quarter, and you would have thought, well, they lost the game, but they would have taken plenty of positives out of it, but back that up with another loss today, and those things start to mount, don't they? We've seen that St Mary's have gone on a run with 4 losses in a row, which is something that never happens in this competition. But looks like they're bouncing back tonight with the win over Palmerston in the offing. But yeah, so both of those sides under pressure.
So come back here to Nightcliff. What can PINT do now? They've just got to try and change probably the direction they're going into the forward line, because going straight down the middle, or well, it really doesn't matter which way they've got in. They've just kept running into that wall of Tigers' defence.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you've got to think that they've got to try something different. You know, even if it's just trying to run the ball. But Nightcliff very disciplined in defence. They close down on you pretty quickly and set themselves up well behind the ball. So it's a difficult task for PINT, but you know, they've got to try and get something out of this game. 2 points on the board at half time is you know, is not something that you want to go home with, and you want to do something in the second half to give you some positivity going into the rest of the season.
So back into the 3rd quarter now.
So it's Nightcliff first, hands on the ball with a quick kick forward, but chopped off across half back by Reeves for PINT. He thumps it back towards the front edge of the square. Hunter in the contest there, couldn't take it. The ball slips out here to McKinney. He gets a hand pass back to Chalmers. He hand passes out wide to Thompson. Thompson swings back inboard and kicks long inside forward 50 in the marking contest. Couple of grabs at it. Big Jones couldn't take the mark, and it was punched away in the end. And then you see the numbers from Nightcliff have worked back in defence, and McCarthy, who's had a really good first half of the game, gets another clearance, and now swooping on it. Green gets a hand pass forward to Parfitt. Parfitt on the outside to Paris Chong long towards full forward. This one slips through the hands of Dirksen, but he's going to be first back to the ball and gets the hand pass on the up to Lorna. Lorna's kick around the corner, unfortunately for Nightcliff, bangs into that left-hand goal post, but yeah, just another example there. It was a 2-on-1 for Nightcliff. Dirksen had hands on the ball in the marking contest. It slipped out the back and he was the first there. So just a bit too much energy, I think, Nightcliff for PINT at this stage.
And there was a classic example where PINT had a shot up forward and it's just come straight back at them as well. And the Tigers just outrunning them at the moment.
So PINT have worked it up to the wing on the outer side. Fulton swings the ball around. Up high was Boyd. Couldn't hold on to the mark this time as Nightcliff hand passing around in a phone booth almost as the kick goes forward. They've broken out here as Brett found some space. He swings around again. Chooses the high long kick inside forward 50. Jones battling against a couple of opponents, and the couple of opponents win out in the end as Nightcliff get it back to Parfitt. Parfitt went one way, then decided to come back onto the right and kicks down the corridor, and he finds Bailey, who hand passed on the outside to Tardru. Tardru kicks forward and they've got runners out the back. This time the mark's spilt by Cody Nyhouse, but managed to have time to pick up and get the hand pass forward, or running into a brick wall there was Liam McCarthy, and he'll be penalised as Jorgensen laid a good tackle and switches to the outer side. And now PINT a chance to build from the back half as Schwarzenberg's in some space at half back. He chips over the top to a leading player. That was Henry Thompson, and spilt the mark but got a push as he was in the marking contest, so he'll win a free kick. And he chips one back over the top to Schwarzenberg. He marks and plays on quickly. The kick's fallen short and is bundled over the boundary line for a throw in, but it is inside PINT's forward 50. So perhaps a chance from a stoppage inside 50 for PINT here, but you can see all those black and gold jumpers around the ball here, and setting up defensively behind the ball. So from the throw-in, bursting through, but falls into the hands of Philo, who hand passes on the up. Lanyon clears away in from defence for Nightcliff round the boundary side as Lorna got the hand pass inboard and now runs onto it again. Just too strong, and kept his feet and keeps the ball going forward. It spills to the front where Green has Dirksen in front of him. He delivers beautifully to him. Dirksen off and running, has a bounce, loses control, toe pokes it forward, and it's going to go through. Oh, goal umpire's signalling touch there. I think he might be a bit confused. There'll be a conference here, and this will be, I'm sure this will be a goal, because there was no one between Dirksen and the goal. Unless he's saying he could hit high on the leg, but didn't look like it, did it? Looked like it came off the boot, but umpire Jacob Port speaking with his goal umpire, and I think we've got the right decision in the end, as Dirksen, probably not what he was trying to do, but he was going to be first there anyway. Just let it go through. Yeah, he just tried to take the bounce and it dribbled away from him. Boy, a brave footballer to take a bounce at Nightcliff Oval, and it's been raining as well. This ground's not renowned for letting the water go too easily. It hasn't chucked down rain yet, but it's certainly a soft surface, and you can see it just on the TV here that some of these part of this ground, being a cricket oval, it just gets a bit muddy in the middle there in places, and he took the bounce, it bounced off his foot and has gone through. 7-7-49 to 2 points. 1 point in the first quarter for PINT and 1 point right at the end of the second quarter. So it's been all Tigers tonight. So back in the middle, umpires are happy that both teams are set up properly as Fitzgerald gets it by hand to Parfitt. Parfitt gets it moving forward. Boldy out to Philo. Philo chips around the corner. It bounces into space, but coming out is Ryan for PINT. Takes possession in the end, gets a hand pass inboard, but again it's just slipped out of the hands, and that puts them under pressure, and the ball's caught in underneath, and it'll be a ball up again. So strength there, and the ball spills out to Boldy. Boldy by hand on the outside to Parfitt. Parfitt delivers inside forward 50. Lorna got his hands to it, couldn't take the mark, but followed up with a really strong tackle and causes another stoppage. From that ruck contest, it's Lorna again at the bottom of the pack. He's wrapped up, and umpire Cooper will throw the ball in the air again. Up high for PINT with Schmetzer, got a hand to it as Paris Chong gets it out to Tardru. Tardru's kick just slides off the side of the boot a little and through for a behind. So not much has changed in the early minutes of this third quarter. It's Nightcliff basically dominating the field position as PINT bring it in this time. The mark taken by Wilson, thought about giving the quick hand pass, but that was chopped off by the player on the mark, and Jones, a long way up from full forward, takes the mark behind centre, kicks long inside forward 50. The ball slips out the back. Here's a chance for PINT as they have three players pouncing on the ball, but the Nightcliff defenders close in the end. The hand pass comes to the outside. There's a long kick forward. There's going to be a downfield free kick, I think. So this will surely be PINT's first goal of the game, as the free kick's going to go to Henry Thompson. Just a bit of physicality after the kick from out wide, and Henry Thompson from the top of the goal square puts it through and gives the PINT supporters here something to cheer about.
7.5 minutes into the third quarter, and PINT get their first one on the board. It was definitely a free kick. He did elbow him pretty hard as he went to the greens and kicked it away, but still a 41-point lead here at Nightcliff Oval.
So Henry Thompson's been pretty busy working from half forward up the ground, but yeah, it was a better movement forward. They got some numbers out the back and had their chances, but it was a free kick in the end that got them on the scoreboard with their first goal of the game. So just waiting on umpire Callum Loney to get us underway again as the players set themselves up in their zones, and we're underway now as Big Fitzgerald taps it to himself and thumps it out of defence, out of the centre square, out towards the boundary line. First there was Jorgensen, but wasn't able to keep the ball in play, so it'll be a boundary throw in out at left half forward for Nightcliff.
He just kicked out the way he was facing, didn't he? He didn't really try to do anything more with it, and it's the boundary throw in.
Fitzgerald using his strength, nudged his opponent under the ball and then sent it forward. At ground level, Dirksen scoops in and picks it up. One grab, tries a hand pass over the top. Oh, a hack out of mid-air there by Reeves. Fortunately fell into the hands of Cameron Wilson, who delivers out wide, and now they're off and running. Schwarzenberg loses control of the ball and puts himself under all sorts of pressure. Tardru lays the tackle. Politis just swoops in and picks up the loose ball and then delivers inside forward 50, but didn't hit a target, and PINT just try to work it out again, but again the hand pass misses and puts them under pressure, and the ball eventually finds its way over the boundary line.
Another classic example of trying to take a bounce at Nightcliff Oval. Ball just basically stuck there when he dropped it, and got himself in all sorts of trouble.
So the ball thrown in. Big Schmetzer got a hand to it for PINT as Paris Chong came in, picked the ball up, but was tackled to the ground, and another stoppage. Hooked out wide to Philo. Philo chips into the forward pocket. Strong contest there. The ball's knocked away. Nightcliff with some numbers here close to the goal square. That's kicked off the ground. The PINT players are saying it's touched. The Nightcliff players think it's a goal, and it is a goal. It's all clear. So that's a Nightcliff goal, and
Boyd Bailey, I think it was.
Yeah.
Boyd Bailey,
Yep.
he's kicked that off the ground.
Yep.
And that one looked a bit more, for the goal umpire to take a better look at than the previous one, and yet he's come with that one straight away. He didn't hesitate there, so Boyd Bailey gets his third.
Yes, so just really a goal out of nothing, just forcing it forward, and had some numbers around, and another, that's their 2 goals this quarter have been kicks off the ground.
Yep.
So 2 goals to 1 in the quarter as we pass 11 minutes, and Nightcliff pretty comfortably in front at this stage of the game as we're back in the middle, ball thrown up. Fitzgerald again doing the ruck work. That tackle looked like it might have been a bit high initially, but that's not the way it's been seen, so it's a ball up again as the rucks wrestle, and Tardry just throws it on his boot, hacks it forward, taken by Kennedy, got the hand pass forward. It slips here to Philo, who hand passes inboard. Here's a chance for Nightcliff again going forward, and this time it's Quinn who got on the end of the hand pass and kicked truly from about 30 metres out directly in front on the run. So was almost training drill stuff then as Nightcliff went forward and just had the numbers, got their hands on the ball and shared it around, and it was Quinn who gets his first goal for the game.
Yeah, just bounced directly to him then, as you said, very much like a training run, that one out of the middle, and Quinn just eyes lit up as it fell for him directly in front, and he's taken the opportunity. And I just can't see where Pine are going to go forward from. Even the goal they got, which was from a free kick, it was going to be cut off by a Tigers player or rushed through for a behind. So they really just haven't done anything in this whole game, and it's disappointing for Pine, who've I've seen play some good footy over the year as well.
Yeah, that's right. And I know it's pretty easy from here, but gee, they've just persisted with the long bombs forward when they have gone forward, and that's easy work for the Nightcliff defence to combat as Hunter on the outside gets the hand pass inboard, and now the long kick inside forward 50 just falls short of that pack of players, and Pint looking to tidy up from the back half as Chalmers gets it out to Thompson. Thompson gets it backwards and the chip comes over the top, and mark taken by Price. Price out on the outer wing for Pint. Kicks long again. It's long to a contest at half forward. Hunter got his hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Air shot there, and Politis swooped on it again, and now kicks long down towards half forward, but well read by Joey Thompson for Pint, who goes straight down the corridor looking for shot, but couldn't take the mark. And it's another ball up with the ball caught in underneath. Paoloni throws the ball in the air as Nyhouse wins the hit out to Philo. His hand pass was a bit hot for Boldy, but managed to recover, and he got it up, and Nightcliff just find a player in space, and it's Parfitt who sweeps the hand pass out wide to Twycross. Twycross goes forward, or acrobatic effort, but no mark taken, and now a chance for Pint to go forward, but again the pass forward misses the target, and Liam McCarthy tidies up over the top and finds Politis in the middle of the ground. He's looking to switch to the near side where Ben Viles made a bit of space out of defence. He's calling for players to lead wide, and eventually it opens up for him, and he chips it over, finding Quinn, who scored that last goal. He plays on now, hand passes on the outside to Boldy. Boldy running inside forward 50, kicks long towards the goal square. No mark taken. It's a scramble at ground level as Pint defence under plenty of pressure once again, and this time they chip it out of defence. Thompson takes the mark, plays on by hand, and they've worked it to the outer wing, but it's Henry Thompson got a hand to the ball, couldn't take the mark, and now the ball caught in underneath, and it'll be another ball up as Jonathan Lanyon stands up and hands the ball back to the umpire to be thrown up. So ball in the air. Nyhouse wins the hit out. The hand pass sweeps inboard to Philo, who gets it over the top by hand and then receives back and chips out wide to Hunter, who swept a hand pass over the top to Quinn. And this is a pretty easy build-up once again for Nightcliff, under not much pressure. Had players in space. Dirksen takes the mark. He's going to give off this time, but oh yeah. Oh, and he's missed from the goal square. Hit the goal post, Peros Chong, as the ball landed in his lap, and he tried to play on. So a let off there for PINT, but they're still obviously a long way back in this contest.
Yeah, Dirksen will get a phone call from their full forwards Bob this week to say don't do that. He was kicking for his 5th then, so he's passed that one off.
Yeah, you would imagine if it was a tighter contest, he might have just gone back and taken the responsibility, but trying to share it around as the ball's out of bounds on the outer side wing.
54-point lead to the Tigers.
Fitzgerald to Parfitt. Parfitt has had plenty of the football tonight, as has this fella Lorna. He kicks long towards goal, but he swung that one round to the left, and I think getting the message that maybe it could have been delivered in the corridor. But through for a behind once again. Reeves to bring the ball in for PINT. Goes wide to the outer side of the ground, and that's off hands and over the boundary line again, in front of the visitors' change rooms on the outer side there of Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. They do have a grant to get new change rooms built here at Nightcliff Oval, which is long overdue, with particularly with women's footy being played now, and the requirements for facilities, so that'll be terrific for the club and for the community. See Coach Lee Crossman on the fence there, just looking on. He'd be pretty comfortable with the situation at the moment, you would think.
Yeah, this will put Tigers back into 2nd place on the ladder.
So, from the throw in front, it's Smetzer who took it out of the ruck contest. Kick forward, Jones traps it at ground level, then gets to his feet, kicks inside forward 50, punched away from behind, working hard down there. Josh McCarthy picks it up, but he's wrapped up in a tackle by Boyd and taken to ground, and it'll be a ball up about 15 metres out from the PINT goal, as Josh McCarthy puts his hand up to do the ruck work, but it's Fitzgerald who got his hand to the ball first. Wilson gets the hand pass back inboard, just was behind his teammate Brett then, and he couldn't keep it in play, and it's a boundary throw in. So 3-1 in this quarter as we approach the 19-minute mark, and Schmetzer doing the ruck work. Philo there almost held without the footy, and it's going to be a PINT free kick in fact though, so here's a chance for another score for PINT as Alex McCarthy goes back, and he'll take the free kick. It's a high tackle free kick. He'll have the set shot from a bit of an angle, but the distance shouldn't be a problem. McCarthy's kick on the way, looks pretty good off the boot. Goal umpire likes it, so they've got a second for the quarter, and another one from a free kick for PINT, but they don't care how they get them at the moment as long as they get the chances, and they really haven't had too many chances with the ball deep forward, and they've made the most of the couple they've had.
Yeah, 15-point lead at quarter time to the Tigers, 40 points at half time, and we're at 49 points now, coming up to time on in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, so 3 goals, 3 to Nightcliff in this quarter, and the 2 goals to PINT has made the scoreboard a little bit more respectable. But Nightcliff have shared the ball around pretty well as we're back in the middle of the ground. From that centre bounce, Fitzgerald tries to get it up to Parfitt, just slipped out of his hands a bit, and now PINT the chance to hack it forward, but Nightcliff industrious as usual. Their midfielders working back, but Schmetzer picks up, gets the hand pass over the top, tap forward into space, picked up down there by Henry Thompson for PINT, but he's wrapped up in the tackle, and it's a ball up at centre half forward for PINT. Fitzgerald gets his hand to the ball. It spills to ground level Twycross with the clearance, but that's just bouncing in favour of PINT down there as Chalmers gets a hand pass over the top to Reeves. Reeves kicks in towards half forward, bounces off the chest, and now Thompson again gets the hand pass out as he's tackled, and there's going to be a Nightcliff free kick here for contact in the back, and it's going to go to Kyle Fitzgerald, who's battled pretty hard most of the day in the ruck. He switches out wide, and he finds Liam McCarthy. McCarthy switches, continues around the wing, and Hunter spilt the mark but was able to recover. He has a bounce, but was hard work, and then lost control of the footy as it's chopped off by Schmetzer. He just hacks one into towards the middle of the ground. Jones coming across, keeps the ball in front, but Philo was there to stop it and give by hand to Parfitt. Parfitt delivers around the outer side of the ground, and that's a good pass, finding his teammate Hunter, and Hunter's kick looking for Peris John, just got knocked away from him and over the boundary line. It'll be another boundary throw in. 22 minutes gone, third quarter, and a healthy 49-point margin to Nightcliff in this home game for them. So Fitzgerald at ground level this time, got the hand pass up to Parfitt. He hand passed as he was tackled, then receives back, runs around onto the left, kicks high inside forward 50, a big leap across the front from Boyd Bailey, got his hands to it, couldn't hold the mark, and PINT get a quick kick away, but they're under pressure again as they go by hand on the outside. Thompson swings back inboard, but this one chopped off by Philo, and Brodie Philo just slowing things down. Now takes off and kicks long towards goal, but he's hooked that one to the left and just got it inside the left-hand behind post. So another behind to Nightcliff, who've wasted a few opportunities in this third quarter, but still, of course, hold that comfortable margin.
Yeah, they could have kicked up a cricket score tonight if they'd had a couple of opportunities they'd taken, and but 50-point lead, they would have taken that at the start of the game.
So Brad Ryan brings the ball back into play for PINT, gets it outside of defensive 50. Thompson comes up from half forward, fends off one opponent, and then got caught with the ball, and that's a good tackle by Peris Chong, and he'll take the free kick. That's not his best kick, but it's landed okay into the lap there of Quinn. Quinn kicks long to the goal square, or the mark's built in the goal square, but
it's right on the siren.
Yeah, so no damage done for PINT with that spilt mark, but yeah, a closer quarter, 3-2, but Nightcliff still in a very strong position.
Yeah, taking a 50-point lead into three-quarter time. We're back with you shortly here at Nightcliff Oval.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to AFL-NT's coverage of the 24-25 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League. We're at Nightcliff Oval. My name's Nick Danks, my commentary partner this evening, Stuart Davis. Stuart, Pint looked better in that third quarter, but the Tigers still extended their lead to 50 points. It was 40 points at half-time. They just in control. There was a couple of training runs there as well in the middle. Yeah, that's right. There's a couple of ball movements where the Pint players just didn't get a hand on it and didn't really get near the Nightcliff players, but yeah, I mentioned in the call that we saw Lee Crossman, the Nightcliff coach, on the sideline. He'd be pretty happy with the way things have gone, and really this is just another game where they're setting themselves up for their charge at the finals in March this year. But this one gets them back into second place, as you mentioned, and they're looking pretty good and setting themselves for the big contest next week against the top of the table side. Yeah, with 4 rounds to go, Southern District's on top on 44 points, Tigers on 36, Bombers on 36, St Mary on 32 and Waratah on 30 points. That's pretty much going to be our final side this year, because Wanderers on 18 and Pint on 16, and the Darwin Buffs. So good news today, they got their first win, so congratulations to the boys there. I know it's been a big long season for them, so looking forward to next year from the Buffs as well. Yeah, well, those two sides in 6th and 7th place that were an outside chance of making the finals, both losing this round. So basically it's cut and dried now as Pint go forward from the first ruck contest. Good work by Schmetzer to work it forward, and now they're inside forward 50. A long kick again, hands to the ball. Mark couldn't be taken, but off hands the kick around the corner from Brett on the left foot, just bounces inside the boundary line and then goes over. So a promising move from Pint with the first centre clearance and first inside 50 entry. The other games today, Buffs defeated the Wanderers by 27 points. Tiwi Bombers defeated Waratah by 13, and St Mary's have just defeated Palmerston by 45 points. As I said, that's pretty much locked up the top 5 with 4 rounds to go. So Fitzgerald and Schmetzer, Fitzgerald in front, or Thompson's kick was smothered. Schmetzer got a left boot to the ball. It's dribbled across the face of goal as Alex McCarthy chases after it, but couldn't get to it, so it's going to be a boundary throw in on the other side of the ground this time. So in the right forward pocket for Pint. Schmetzer and Fitzgerald again. Fitzgerald gets his hand to it over the top. Boldy comes in, controls it at ground level, gives over the top by hand, and now Nightcliff just steadying out of defence. The long kick comes down. Kennedy gets his hands to the ball and takes a mark. Haven't seen a lot of Brett Kennedy today, but kicks to a running player in the middle of the ground, Boyd Bailey. Bailey switches back outside, going inside forward 50, and the mark taken out on the long lead by Dirksen. Dirksen plays it on quickly, trying to find Fergus Green down there. Couldn't take the mark, but recovered well, throws it on the boot, and I think it must have been touched off the boot because it seemed to bounce through the goal, but no one's too disappointed in that, so clearly that was the case as a behind scored, and Reeves brings the ball back into play. He goes short and finds his teammate Smith. Smith going wing side as the ball's knocked away, and again tidying up was Parfitt for Nightcliff. Got it over the top to Philo. The ball spills out now as Brad Ryan comes in for Pint, and he gets wrapped up in the tackle, so it'll be a ball up close to the boundary line inside forward 50 for Nightcliff. So reaching over the top, Schmetzer got a fist to it, but the best he could do was get it over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. Schmetzer and Cody Nyhouse doing the ruck work. See one-on-ones all around the ball here as Nyhouse hooks it over the top, getting it going forward, but no clear path there. There's a whistle on the play, and
ball will come back for a PINT free kick in their defensive half.
Quite understandably, the pace has come right off this game, as it's
Yeah,
sort of just
exactly.
branding towards a finish here, which is...
So Chalmers with the free kick, but he's got to come back over the mark. So things have closed up for him pretty much as he looks downfield, now runs himself into a bit of trouble with the player on the mark, but gets his kick away as it spills to ground level. The hand pass comes back to Schwarzenberg, who got the hand pass over the top. Inboard goes to Chalmers, who spilt the ball under some pressure and gets it caught inside. And another ball up towards the centre of the ground.
So we've gone to 4.5 minutes this quarter, only have 1 point scored by either side.
So Nightcliff worked the ball away from this stoppage. The kick falls just short of Dirksen, who lost control at ground level, and now PINT swooping on it, clear it away around the near side of the ground where Schwarzenberg takes the mark. He's got a running forward, chips it over the top to Shot gets it forward to Alex McCarthy. McCarthy inside forward 50. Oh, just again the final kick inside doesn't result in a mark, and that allows Nightcliff defenders to close and clear it away, and Parfitt takes that mark under a bit of pressure just forward of half back. He chips back inside into the centre 50. Baldy receives the hand pass off Philo and then loops one over the top to Bailey, who kicks long down towards goal. A terrific defensive effort, diving back. Ethan Smith there got a hand to the ball in between a couple of Nightcliff opponents and saved what was looking like a goal and forced it through for a behind as Reeves brings the ball back in quickly out towards half back again. Hands to the ball, but mark not taken. Baldy gives the hand pass on the up to Philo. Philo kicks high into the goal square. Dirksen, with two opponents, tries to punch it away, and the best he could do was punch it through for another behind to Nightcliff.
Baldy's been in everything tonight. He's certainly in this quarter he's had a couple of touches, but all night he's just been right in there. He's had a great game.
So Nightcliff goes straight up the middle of the ground as Shot kicks down towards the front edge of the centre square. There's a whistle on the play here, and Nightcliff taking advantage. Parfitt once again gets it to his teammate Bailey on the up, but no mark paid there, and again wrapped up in the tackle, and it'll be a ball up inside forward 50 for Nightcliff.
Yeah, the kick went about 2.5 metres and umpires the play on him.
So from the stoppage, the hand pass out from Quinn. Eventually gets out to Tardru, who swings back and now on the outside of the boot, kicks it down towards the goal square. But again, just too clever, too strong. Fergus Green this time, who's had a pretty quiet night as well, but gets a chance to get himself on the scoreboard.
Kicking the first goal of the quarter, 7 minutes gone, final quarter.
So player on the mark is at the top of the goal square as Green comes in, no problem whatsoever. Puts it straight through the middle, and Nightcliff have scored the first goal of the quarter. As Nick said, we've gone past 7 minutes in this final quarter, and Nightcliff just pushed that lead out again. Yeah,
15 points at quarter time, 40 points at half time, 50 points at three-quarter time, and what are we now, 65 points. So they... oh, it's just updated.
So we're back in the middle of the ground. I just think the scoreboard on our screen is just out. Should be 10 goals, 14 to Nightcliff and 2-2 to PINT, as we're back in the middle of the ground. And again, it's Fitzgerald getting his hand to the ball, and PINT, though, win the clearance, kick it straight down the middle of the ground as it's a scramble for it just at the top of the goal square for PINT, and Nightcliff defence under pressure. I think Pint have won themselves a free kick here. No, they haven't. They've won a stoppage. Players were clapping for winning the stoppage there. As the ball goes up, Fitzgerald just thumps it out into open space out towards the boundary line. Pint are going to be first there. It's picked up by McKimmie, who ducks back around on his left boot, kicks inboard, but there's that man again, Baldy, who takes the intercept mark and then chips into the back pocket, finding Parfitt, who's also had plenty of the football tonight. He's called to play on now as he hand passes over the top to Philo. And he always gets plenty of the football as he kicks forward, but it's chopped off this time by Reeves, who throws it on the left boot going forward. No mark taken, spills to the front of the pack, and the hand pass misses the target there, goes straight into the hands of McKimmie, but McKimmie's just floated one off the outside of the boot and through for a behind only for Pint.
The scoreboard's right now, a 59-point lead to the Tigers, 10-14-74, 2-3-15, coming up 10-minute mark of the final quarter.
So out the back, big for Pint, kicks forward, but just too strong. Boyd, who's been solid in defence all night, takes the mark, gives the hand pass off to Parfitt. Parfitt, kick around the outer wing, and Philo running, delivers inside 50. That's not one of his best efforts, as it's chopped off by Chalmers. Chalmers kicks it high inside forward 50. Didn't really kick it to the advantage of his teammate down there. That's a tackle and the ball spilt loose. Play on's the call as the hand pass comes over the top, but there were 3 Pint players there. The hand pass went over the top of them all and was chopped off and worked out of bounds again by Tom Boyd, who's been, as I said, rock solid in defence for Nightcliff all night.
Yeah, right there, Stuart. 3-on-1 then, and the Pint just still couldn't get that ball right to get around him directly in front pretty much.
So from the throw-in, Fitzgerald gets his fist to the ball. It spills out close to the boundary line, and Alex McCarthy couldn't control it, and it slips out over for another boundary throw-in.
Just over halfway through this final quarter.
Deep in the Pint forward line. Fitzgerald strong again, wins the hit out. Hand pass comes out. Here's a chance for Pint as the hand pass comes over the top, gets to Brett, but he was tackled as he tried to kick the ball and just slewed off the side of the boot and bounced inside. So it'll be a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Pint. Kyle Fitzgerald, who's pretty much rucked all night against Smetzer this time, has just tapped forward, but wrapped up with the ball in hand was Harry McKimmie for Pint, and a stoppage again. Fitzgerald thumps it away to the outside. Baldy out there, hand passes forward to Parfitt. Parfitt tries to break a tackle, gets caught, but Nightcliff have got the numbers and they've worked it by hand all the way along that outer side of the ground. They've got it all the way to the wing now as Paris Chong hand passes over the top to himself, if you don't mind, and then delivers inside 50, but it's fallen short and chopped off by Ryan, who gives it by hand to Reeves. Reeves goes down towards half forward. Strong defensive work there from Budrick, but they get it across here to McCarthy. McCarthy chips in, and Nightcliff able to just work it forward once again as Paris Chong takes the mark outside of forward 50. He delivers inside 50, but it's punched away by Brad Ryan, and Pint got numbers at the fall of the ball here as Reeves just chips out wide and has a running Fulton, who takes the mark and kept going, looking for Josh McCarthy. Got his hands to the ball, it slipped over the back, picked up by McKimmie down there. McKimmie on the left, looking for his teammate Price forward, but was just too far out in front of him, and it's gone off hands and over the boundary line for a throw-in. So 13 minutes gone, fourth quarter. Just the one goal scored so far in the quarter by Fergus Green for Nightcliff. Fitzgerald again strong in the ruck, gives it off to Baldy. Baldy by hand, and Bailey gives it off to Budrick. Budrick again to Baldy, who finds Bailey. Paris Chong out wide on the bounce to Philo, and he chips around to Parfitt at half forward. Parfitt looking to switch back into the centre corridor where he's got Boyd Bailey all by himself at the front edge of the centre square. That kick's not the best, puts Twycross under a bit of pressure as he gets the hand pass over the top. Ball spills out at ground level. Boldy in there again, scoops this one in and then gets tackled. He could be in trouble here, I think he is, and that's going to be a PINT free kick. He clearly dragged that one in and under, and Alex McCarthy will take the free kick at half back for PINT. In fact, he gives it off by hand to Reeves, who ran past, and Reeves delivers out wide to a player in space. Henry Thompson kicks inside forward 50, but again it's right on the head of his teammate Benjamin Brett, and pretty easy to spoil and knock away over the boundary line. They just haven't been able to get those passes out in front to let them run onto it, their forwards, have they? So we're waiting for the boundary throw in here as Schmetzer and Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald again just pushes his opponent out of the way and takes the ball out of the ruck contest. Parfitt at ground level gives the hand pass on the up, and now it's worked out of defence by Budrick, and Nightcliff have got loose players. They had options aplenty as the kick goes forward over the top. Kennedy tries to run onto that one, but it bounces over his head, and Tyler Big tidies up for PINT and thumps it back towards half forward, where off hands the Nightcliff running it out of defence now as the long kick comes down towards half forward. On the bounce first there was Smith for PINT, and there was some pretty heavy contact there. Smith holding his head as Hunter picks himself up off the ground as well. Got there in the end, and we'll just... It's Smith who's the recipient of the free kick. He gives it off to Maloney, who chips across to Shot. Shot goes short to Reeves at half back. Reeves off a step, kicks down the line, but that again given plenty of air and punched away by the Nightcliff defence as PINT at ground level just try to find someone to work it forward, and eventually Fulton kicks out wide on the bounce.
Hello.
It finds Price. Price swings around from close to the boundary line. Into the
Come
goal
on,
square.
don't got the ball.
This time they've got a mark in the goal square, and it's Harry McKimmie, who just got a little bit of separation from his defender, and he takes the mark. Only metres out from goal, and he'll have a set shot and a chance to do one better than he did at the end of the second quarter. So McKimmie from only about 10 metres out, no problem whatsoever, puts it through, and PINT get their first goal for the quarter and their third for the match.
Yeah, just needed that one. It's understatement. The game's sort of just winding its way down. I don't think it's going to be a long final quarter the way we've gone, but a 53-point lead, so 3 points extra they picked up in this quarter, the Tigers have, but they need that one just make the scoreboard look a little bit more respectable, but 3-3-21 to 10-14-74.
Yeah, that's right. Nightcliff really set it up in the first half, didn't they, with 6 goals to none, and since then it's been a 4-goal-to-3 game, but a lot of the fizz has gone out of the game in this second half.
Yeah, you get to this time of the season, you just want to get through these sort of games and just come through uninjured. A couple of knocks back there would have put a bit of shock up them, but this thing's ticking away. Only a couple of minutes left, I would think.
So Parfitt at ground level just tries to kick it into the path of a teammate, or the hand pass inboard, finds Boldy, who gives it off by hand, and now comes to Paris Chong, who has a long shot towards goal. It falls short, it's punched away from behind. Parfitt cleverly keeps it in play. Oh, the hand pass misses the target. This opens it up for Tardru, who has a snapshot at goal. The whistle's gone, but I think the goal will count. It will, and so a quick hit back there from Nightcliff as Lockie Tardru scores another Nightcliff goal.
That's his second for the game. back to that 59-point margin where it was a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so Nightcliff marching on. As we said, this result sees them retain second place on the ladder, and they come up against the top side Southern Districts next week. A home game for Southern Districts out at Fred's Pass, which will be fantastic viewing. Just waiting for players to set up here, and it's Nightcliff with hands on the ball in the centre and winning the clearance down towards half forward, punched away from behind, spills to Fergus Green, who gets a hand pass forward as he's tackled at ground level, picked up by Ryan, but ball slipped out of his hands as the tackle was laid, and it was it's Lockie Tardrew who was the tackler, and he'll go back and take the free kick and a chance to get himself another goal.
Already got two, got one a few minutes ago as well.
So Tardrew had a pretty good game. Got especially early, he was right in the action when the game was there to be won, and now what looks to be a pretty simple set shot from about 20 metres out, pretty much directly in front. Goal umpire doesn't move, and that lead extends again as Nightcliff pile on another goal.
65 points now, said 15 at quarter time, 40 at half time, 50 and now 65. So they've just been pretty consistent, chipping away at it all night, and PINT really haven't had answers. They've got a couple of goals that kicked off the ground, and they got one with a free kick directly in front, and they really just haven't put any pressure on the Tigers tonight, and the Tigers' defensive line been outstanding.
So back in the middle of the ground, ready for the restart. We're into time on, clock ticking past 21 minutes here as ball thrown in the air. The big fella Schmetzer got his hand to the ball and won the clearance for PINT down towards full forward, punched away from behind, and that disciplined Nightcliff defence just run it out in waves again as the chip comes over the top to Hunter. Hunter's got a short lead that he ignores from Quinn, and now he's going to have to play on and use Quinn on the outside by hand. Quinn chips back inboard, and the mark's taken by Bailey at half back. He's signalling to just settle things down as he goes backwards, right back into the back pocket, and Nightcliff looked to work it around, but that kick puts Philo under pressure, and here's a chance for PINT. Pouncing on the ball inside forward 50 was Benjamin Brett for PINT, and that one was just a bit casual in defence from Nightcliff there as the pressure came, and Brett pounced on that one and scored the goal for PINT from a turnover inside 50, which really hasn't happened all night until just then.
Yeah, I think they must have got the signal from the bench, because I've got it down in the last minute we're into now, the way the scores have been, and they were just lairising around, for want of a better word, and they've just dropped it in the hands of PINT, and a nice tackle, and gone on to kick the goal. Just a bit of consolation back to that 59-point margin.
So the ball back in the hands of umpire Callum Loney as he comes in for what could well be the last centre restart of the match. Ball in the air, Schmetzer over the top, Nyhouse in front. Burrowing through was Cameron Wilson, who's battled hard all night for PINT, and from the ball up, it's PINT first hands on the ball through Fulton, but went to ground and had to try and force it out. This will be a PINT free kick going to Schmetzer, who's battled pretty well all night as he gets the free kick, and now decides that he'll go long down towards half forward. The big leap there Ball spills off hands. Pint just trying to work it to a player in some space. It gets on the outside to McKinney. McKinney swings the left foot towards goal. There might be another one here for Pint. I think it is. And that's 2 in a row for the first time tonight for Pint. Right on the end of the game. But McKinney gets himself another goal. His second, and a couple of consolation goals for Pint, and they've scored 3 goals each in this final quarter, so that's, I guess, something for Pint to take away from the game.
Yeah, 53-point lead now, and so Tigers still win that quarter by 3 points. It's got to be seconds left now. This has been the longest quarter of the match, but it is nice of a Pint they've come back. But this last quarter is just sort of teep it out, and I think the players will be glad when it's all over this one now.
Yeah, a little bit of heaviness in the ground as well, so I'll be looking forward to the end of the game as in the middle of the ground, picked up at ground level by Nyhouse, and Cody Nyhouse just didn't get the ball out, so he's penalised. Smetzer, another free kick, kicks inside forward 50, double fister away from the Nightcliff defence. It falls to Brett once again, who sweeps the hand pass back on the inside, and Nightcliff again working it through the hands across that forward line, but that one just misses the target as Ryan goes to ground. It's picked up out there by Fulton, who kicks wide into some space as it falls to the advantage of Big, but the Nightcliff defence just outnumbered them and eventually work it out as Kennedy finds Budrick on the outer side of the ground. Joel Budrick just taking his time out there now as he hasn't got a lot to go to, and eventually plays on and hand passes over the top to Kennedy, who's got Quinn running forward, had the ball in his hands but slipped out as he took his eyes off it, and just a bit scrambly around the outer side of the ground at the moment as Nightcliff eventually work it forward, but the tackle sees the ball fall loose and Pint clear it away again into the middle of the ground, picked off down there by Hunter, who hand passed back inboard. The long hand pass picked up on the half volley by Paris Chong, and the kick comes out to Kennedy, who chips it over the top, and the siren goes before Baldy can take that mark, and that ends the game with Nightcliff running out comfortable winners at home, Nick.
Yeah, 53-point margin in the end, 12-14-86 to 5-3-33. Your goal kickers, Stu?
Oh, the major goal kickers, Zach Dirksen, I think had 4, Lockie Tardry 3, Boyd Bailey 3, and for Pint, Harry McKimmey was their only multiple with a couple of goals.
And your best on ground?
Yeah, pretty hard tonight, but I think we both agree that for Nightcliff, Riley Baldy had a pretty special game with plenty of the football. Brandon Parfitt was everywhere, had heaps of it all over the ground, as did Brody Philo. I thought Tom Boyd in defence was terrific. Boyd Bailey obviously had a fair bit of the ball as well. And for Pint, they're probably a little bit harder, but Hugh Schmetzer battled hard all night in the ruck. I thought that Cameron Wilson had a crack through the middle the whole game, got plenty of the football early in the game, and kept battling on. And yeah, really there wasn't too much for them. Benjamin Brett gave them a little bit up forward, but yeah, not too much to write home about for Pint.
So there it is. Don't forget, round 15 starts on Friday night, 8 o'clock at TIO Stadium. Dale Buffaloes take on St Mary's. Then 3 games on Saturday, 3 p.m. at Gazales, Palmerston and Tiwi Bombers. 4 o'clock, an absolute beauty, first versus second, Southern Districts versus the Tigers. And at 7 o'clock at Gardens Oval, Wanderers versus Waratah. It's been a pleasure to host this evening. My name is Nick Tanks. I was joined by Stuart Davis. We'll catch you next time.